JBN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and to share the news with someone today. Now on to the news. Man shot dead in Porus, Manchester. The Porus police are investigating a murder that occurred on Saturday evening when a man was shot dead near a meat shop across from the Porus market. The attack unfolded just before 9 p.m., with preliminary reports indicating that gunmen opened fire, hitting the victim multiple times. Authorities have yet to identify the man, and the motive behind the shooting remains unclear. This incident follows closely on the heels of another violent episode where two gunmen killed two individuals and injured five others at the Mandeville market just a day prior, raising concerns about escalating gun violence in the parish. Man gunned down at party in Old Harbour. A party in Old Harbour turned tragic last night when 30-year-old labourer Romain Harrison was gunned down. The incident occurred around 11:50 p.m. near the Burke Road taxi stand, where the celebration was in full swing when gunfire erupted. Witnesses reported hearing multiple explosions, prompting immediate panic among attendees. Responding swiftly, officers from the nearby Old Harbour police station arrived at the scene to find Harrison suffering from severe gunshot wounds. He was quickly transported to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was pronounced dead upon arrival. Investigators from the Old Harbour Criminal Investigation Branch are currently investigating the shooting, working to identify the assailants responsible for this violent act. Two men killed in separate crashes. A tragic weekend on Jamaica's roads has claimed the lives of two young men in separate incidents. In St. Elizabeth, 29-year-old Kalinja Miller, a construction worker from Burnt Ground, succumbed to injuries sustained in a crash early Sunday morning. Police report that around 2 a.m., Miller was driving a Nissan Latte on the Locovia Main Road when he lost control. The vehicle struck a piece of concrete before crashing into a tree, resulting in extensive damage to the right side of the vehicle. He was transported to hospital but was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. Meanwhile, in Portland, 20-year-old Knox Hewitt from Rural Hill District also lost his life in a separate accident on Saturday. Reports indicate that at approximately 5 p.m., Hewitt was a passenger in a Nissan 80 wagon traveling east on the Long Bay Main Road when the vehicle overturned at Ross Craig. He and other occupants were injured and rushed to the hospital, where Hewitt was pronounced dead. At the crash site, a shoe was among the debris stuck in the windscreen of the mangled car, highlighting the severity of the incident. Gun found on the passenger seat, 3 men charged. 3 men have been arrested on charge following a police operation on the Pedro Cross Main Road in St. Elizabeth on Friday night. Charged with possession of a prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition are a 39-year-old labourer, LaShawn Brown, and a 39-year-old farmer, Ricardo Murray, both from Odgisland, St. Elizabeth, and a 31-year-old farmer, Andre Christie, from Arlington in Grange Jail, Westmoreland. Reports indicate that around 9:15 p.m., police were conducting a roadblock operation when they signaled the blue Hyundai motor car to stop. The vehicle, occupied by the 3 men, failed to comply, but was later intercepted by police. A search of the vehicle uncovered a Glock 19 pistol and a magazine containing 16 9mm rounds of ammunition hidden under the passenger seat. The suspects were taken to the station and officially charged after the discovery. Their court date is currently being finalized. Body of man found in river in St. James, drowning suspected. The Erin police are investigating a suspected case of drowning following the discovery of a man's body in a river in Gutters, Granville, St. James on Saturday. The man has been identified as 24-year-old Justin Jackson of Gutters. Reports from the Erin police are that about 5:45 a.m., residents stumbled upon Jackson's body floating in the river and alerted them. Upon the arrival of the police, the body was removed from the water and taken to the morgue for post-mortem. Arms embargo hits Jamaica. Gun dealers struggle with dwindling ammunition supplies. A crippling arms embargo imposed by the United States is taking a toll on the firearms market in Jamaica, leaving one of the country's 4 active guns and ammunition dealers completely out of stock. Industry insiders report that the remaining 3 dealers are now struggling to meet the demands of licensed firearm holders, private security companies, and the shooting range operators. The restrictions, which prohibit the export of guns, ammunition, and gun parts to non-governmental users in Jamaica and 35 other countries, were first announced by U.S. authorities in April and officially took effect on July 1. As a result, local dealers are facing significant challenges, with some forced to turn away clients or only partially fulfill their orders. This embargo comes amid heightened concerns over gun violence and illegal guns in the country. The impact is particularly pronounced for those relying on ammunition for legitimate purposes, including private security firms and the licensed gun holders who require supplies for training and personal protection. The police or the Jamaican military are not impacted by the restrictions, Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang confirmed. Part of the problem with this embargo is that you're tightening the hands of the people who are legal, who you can account for, who you can hold accountable, but there's nothing restricting the criminals who are really causing the problem, one arms dealer lamented. So we might end up in a situation like Haiti, where the gangs are the ones running up and down the streets, and we who have guns have no ammunition to fight them off. Seeking to underscore the gravity of the situation, the dealer said he was recently contacted by the proprietors of two private security companies seeking 6,000 and 4,000 rounds of ammunition. We could not fulfill the orders, he said during an interview on Friday. Licensed gun owners in Jamaica are permitted to buy 50 rounds of ammunition each year, but the arms dealer said he has already restricted that to 25. On the range, normally you can buy 200 rounds per day. We're now down to 50 rounds per person for the day. We're looking to keep that until December. And come January, we may do further restrictions. Amid complaints that there has been no update from the government about its efforts to ease the crippling embargo, Chan disclosed that Jamaica is currently going through the review process to see if we can get it lifted. He said inspectors from the U.S. State and Commerce Departments have visited the island and have examined the processes in place at a number of state agencies, including the regulatory body, the Firearms Licensing Authority. I guess they'll come again before they make a final decision, said Chang, who is also the Deputy Prime Minister. He said as far as the government is aware, American authorities are seeking to ensure that there are no loopholes and possible leakage in the gun control safeguards in the country, particularly for private gun and ammunition dealers. We have a lot of firearms being fired in Jamaica, so they had to take a look and reassure themselves that none of it is leaking, Chang said, noting that the government is really satisfied with the processes put in place by the main gun and ammunition dealers here. The concern, however, for nervous stakeholders in the local private security industry is whether the issue is being treated with the urgency it requires. How aggressively are we treating with this matter to resolve it as a country and as a region? Retired Major Richard Rees, president of the Jamaica Society for Industrial Security, questioned while acknowledging that it is a challenge for any government. He noted that there are other countries that manufacture guns and ammunition, but said navigating the shipping arrangements is fraught with several challenges. So let's say you order from country X, and the shipping route takes you through a U.S. port. That too will face a restriction, he said, adding that some of these countries are already facing other U.S. sanctions. Taking a shot at American authorities, Rees said Jamaica has a very rigid set of arrangements governing licensed firearms, even more so than the United States that imposed the embargo. The new export rules implemented by the U.S. Department of Commerce in July restrict the sale of guns, bullets, and gun parts to 36 countries, including Jamaica, Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, and the Dominican Republic, which the U.S. State Department simultaneously labeled as high risk for illegal diversion and the misuse of American-made firearms that were legally exported. Haitians land in Portland. A group of approximately 14 Haitians, including 5 women and a baby, landed at a beach in Kensington, Portland, on Saturday afternoon. 5 of the Haitians reportedly tried to run from the police, but were caught in a remote area near 2 cell towers. Residents said that the Haitians landed by boat about 2 p.m. This area is Kensington near Rosscraig, because some come in a couple of months ago. So Mr. This don't look good. They were coming to land, a resident said. Me called my brother and said, don't they look like Haitian? I don't like how the boat has still come across. By the time Mr. the Coast Guard come up, he added. The resident said the JDF Coast Guard and the Marine Police were quick on the beach. The Coast Guard patrolled the area for a while, so we watched what was happening. The boat looked loaded too. The Haitians come in afterwards and I couldn't say where them go, he said. Mr. the Coast Guard and the operation same time, he added. The resident said he is fearful for his safety with the continued landing of Haitians in the community because they don't know what can happen. Sometime about 2 months ago, there was an operation down here at the same place, he said. When you look around, the police cover the place, but they need a sniffer dog and thermal imaging to check the bush, he said. Meanwhile, 6 Haitians were captured on Sunday. This brings to 20 the number of migrants held in the parish. It is understood that the Haitians are being processed at the Port Antonio police station as the authorities make checks as to whether any of the migrants had previously landed in the country. JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.